Yeah, I think the running backs are doing a really, really good job. Seeing Alex Fontenot back and seeing him, not miss a step, that's been a good sign for us. Uh, Broussard, he's been a little banged up, so, been a little frustrating for him and for us. Uh, Deion Smith is looking good. He's doing individual drills with us. He's looking like the old Deion. Josiah and Jay Lee, those guys are both really, really improved from last season. Jay Lee, he's going to be doing a lot of different things for us, and Joe as well. So I'm really excited about the running back group.
All right, Dion Figures just said to say hello.
Hey, Dion, how's he doing?
Good. I've got to get some info from him. I'm nominating him for something.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
let's go to Justin Guerrero.
Hey, Darren, you mentioned Alex Fontenot, and Carl Durrell has told us as much, but he really only got a chance to see like a couple days of what Alex Fontenot could do last fall before that injury. And so Fontenot kind of entered this spring with his head coach not really knowing what he was capable of. And from talking to you and just the couple times we've observed Fontenot during the scrimmages, it looks like he really is back to form, back to his 2019 self. And I'm wondering just how you've observed him kind of respond to that pressure of this being a period where he really needed to go out of his way to impress his head coach and overall just what you've seen out of him this spring.
Well, I can tell you this. For a guy who, you know, would have been 1,000 yard rusher hadn't he got a concussion, um, in 2019. For this guy to go out and, had to miss all season, and to watch Broussard have the type of season he has a fire in his belly. And he's doing a lot of really, really good things. His speed is back. He looks really, really fast. He's always been good in protections, and he's excelled at that this spring. So I'm really excited for him. And Coach Durrell, like you said, he hadn't seen him but a couple of days before he got hurt. And I think what Alex is doing, the stuff he's putting on film, has opened up coaches' eyes.
Okay, Adam, Mr. Tiger.
Hi, Coach. Good to see you. I was trying to remember, it was coming up blank here. Have you ever had a running back similar to Jay Lee Stacks while you've been a running backs coach at CU? And I was curious kind of how you see his role being on the team this year.
I haven't had it. Yes, I did. I had one guy who was similar to Jay, um, but he wasn't as versatile in the pass game, and that was Maurice Cantrell. But both of those guys are really, really tough. Jay Lee is a guy he'll punch you in the mouth. He'll fight to the end of the whistle. He's everything you want. He's blue collar. He's gonna just strap it on and do what he's asked to do. And he's a guy that I'm really, really excited for. He's a guy that will get some carries. He won't get a lot, but he'll get some carries. And when he's a guy that when he's running behind his pads and has his pads down, he's a bruiser, and nobody wants to get in the way.
Okay, I've been distracted with two phones ringing, so I think Sean Keeler, you're up next.
Hey, Coach, two things. How much fun is it to have kind of an embarrassment of riches at that position? First off, and all the different, you got like a flavor. You got like five flavors of sauce you can run to, and they all feel pretty good about one. And two, how do you think those guys are going to react to being kind of marked men with as well as y'all ran the ball last year?
Well, I think that all of them are eager to prove what they can do. I tell the guys all the time, what you put in is what you get, and these guys are putting in phenomenal effort. Their study habits have gotten way, way better. You know, uh, you know, you walk in my room and you can just roll a dice and just say, hey, whoever plays the best is gonna be out there getting the most reps, and you don't even think a second that none of those guys should be playing. All those guys are really excited. I'm excited. Our team's excited for them. Our offensive line loves blocking for those guys. I tell those guys all the time as well. Slow two, fast through. And Jay Broussard and Ashad and Alex. Those guys don't understand what slow two, fast through mean. They just play it fast all the time, and that's a blessing to have in our backfield.
Right, Hal.
So Darren, going off of that question, we've asked you that a lot about the depth of this running back position. When you look at some of the top rushing teams, and even when CU's had really good rushing teams, there's always 2 or 3 guys that run the ball. Last year, Jarek was second in the country in attempts, so it was kind of a one-man show. I'm just curious, how much of a luxury is it compared to how much of a necessity is it to have 2, 3, 4 guys that can run the ball these days?
I think it's a necessity, because toward the end of the year, Broussard, he got down to like 178 pounds, and you play against Texas and Utah, and they were putting the wood to him, and he laid the ball on the ground a couple times, and I think that was because he lost a lot of weight, and he was a guy that was we were really really comfortable with getting the ball to, now Ashad knows what he's doing. Alex is a returning starter. He knows what he's doing, so we have the luxury of, just rolling guys out. And, when guys get tired, don't worry about looking over your shoulder, tap your helmet, come on out.
Okay, Justin Guerrero.
Coach, a couple of weeks ago, all of us in the media, we got our first chance to talk to Ashad Clayton, and he was pretty candid with us. I mean, just talking about getting to Boulder and adjusting just during everything shut down for quarantine in Boulder. He's homesick. He misses his mom and grandma, and kind of coming from being the big man on campus, so to speak, at high school to not really playing much as a freshman. He essentially told us that it wasn't exactly a very happy time for him, just getting adjusted to college life. And I'm wondering, just as his position coach, and he had mentioned you as a guy that he could really depend on and count on, just how your relationship developed with Ashad last fall, given those circumstances, given the stuff he was battling.
Well, I lived through his eyes because as a true freshman coming from Los Angeles, I was homesick. I wasn't, as far away from home that like he was, but I was homesick. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, with the playbook. I was lost at times. The food was different. The people were different, and, I just told him just hang in there and things will get better. And that's exactly what happened to me. I hung in there. I thought about, transferring and going somewhere else, but I hung in there. My position coach wasn't going to let me, just roll the dice and leave and try to go somewhere else. And, Coach Barnett used to always say he coached me with kid gloves, so I know what that means now, coaching with kid gloves. And he's gotten better, with that coaching style. He's not a guy, that's, he can really scream and holler and yell at, because all he's had in his life was mom and grandma, so you just, you try to coach him with kid gloves and, tell him what he's doing wrong, tell him what he's doing right, but try to praise him and keep him in the loop. And he showed up this spring, and he's going to show up and show out. So I'm looking forward to it.
As I recall, I think you turned the corner when you shaved off those Jerry curls.
I was getting ready to say that. when I lost those locks, man, I was focused. I didn't have to worry about where I was going to find my Jerry curl juice from. I just would go get my hair cut, and that's all I had to worry about. And same thing with him. He don't have to worry about, all the little things that, distracted him. Now he's all in, and he doesn't have people, distractions pulling at him and, trying to pull him in the wrong direction. So, I'm happy where he is with his progress, and he's opened up a lot to me, and, we have a really, really good relationship. So I'm pleased with that.
And one more from Adam.
Coach, I know Deion Smith has been out again this spring. I was just hoping to get an update there. Is there hope that he might be able to work his way back into the mix at some point?
Absolutely. He in the last week and a half, he's been doing, individual drills with the running backs. And, unbeknownst to him, I have been catering those drills, strictly for him to get his confidence back, Monday and today, he was able to get in there with the quarterbacks and do some mesh drills and, understand his tracks on certain plays and things like that. So he's fired up. When we come back in June, I think he's going to be cut loose. He'll be ready to go.